welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I want to share my thoughts about Until You Fall for VR. I've been trying to be out here again. It happens once a year or so, but I usually just give up eventually because life. I am very sickly and anxious, so going out a lot is not an option for me. I can't go to the gym. I can't really go out on long walks. But and as a gamer, well, I turned to what I thought could keep me doing exercise the most: VR. I don't mind lifting weights. I actually enjoy it. But cardio, on the other end, is not something I usually enjoy. But give me a game in VR, then I'll play and I won't even realize I'm doing cardio. Well, except for the buckets of sweat, that is. So when I started my health journey again this year, I mostly played Beat Saber and Synth Rider almost every day. But there's only a certain number of songs that I really enjoyed. And don't get me wrong, I really love those games. I played them like basically every day. But written games every single day got a little bit overwhelming and not boring, but you know. So I started looking for new games to add to my rotation. I saw a video about Until You Fall, got intrigued, and thinking I'd like to make a video about VR fitness eventually, I requested a key. And to my surprise, my request was granted. So here's a video about the game. I will be revisiting it at a later date to talk about my current use of VR fitness for health purposes. So first, as usual, we have to talk about the basics, the disclaimers, general information, all that stuff. As I said earlier, I received a free key for the game to show on my channel. I played the game using a Quest 2 linked to my PC with a 3-meter long cable. So far, I've played it for about a week, between 20 to 40 minutes a day. The game has been developed and published by Shell Games. The game costs 2,800 yen or $24.99 USD, which is quite good for a VR game, and the only DLC is the soundtrack. And so what is Until You Fall? Have you ever imagined what it would be like to actually be in a roguelike? Until You Fall is pretty much that. It's a hack and slash roguelike game in VR where you control the game with your whole body. You are the character. You play as the last Rune Knight who needs to fight back against the calamity that took over Rokar, a being called Agatha, and that character is really mysterious. She's a runesmith, summoned you back to life to fight. In all honesty, I kind of felt like an Ashen One when starting the game. As all good roguelikes go, as you progress through set levels, you will be offered random power-ups that will affect this run only. Or you can often pick up Ether instead of power-ups. Ether can be used after you die to unlock new weapons or permanent upgrades for these weapons. You will also naturally receive Ether as you defeat enemies, complete stages. So since this is a roguelite, especially in the beginning, be ready to die a lot. But each upgrade will help. And not only upgrades, but also yourself as a controller, right? As you play more, you become more agile, more skilled with the weapons and can do better. But also enemies will have set patterns, which once you learn them, it's gonna help you knowing how to block them easier and when to attack. The combat will lead you through a dance with enemies. You will learn to block, dodge, and time your attacks. You will need to take full advantage of combos to damage enemies and learn when to use your skill. Sometimes you will be attacked by groups of enemies, which can become complete chaos and overwhelm you if you cannot deal with them in a timely manner. I have to be honest here. I have never felt like such a badass in my life than when playing this game. Summoning the weapons in your hands just feels so cool. Speaking of weapons, there are plenty to choose from. From dual-wielding daggers and swords, crafts that enhance your main weapon but they can't block, heavier maces and axes, or heavy two-handed weapons. Each weapon has starter stats and skill attached to them, and they can be upgraded to be stronger. I personally preferred dual-wielding, sword and daggers so far, though I haven't unlocked all 12 weapons yet. I'm not the most agile, and I found that it was a lot easier to block with swords and daggers as they are really quick to position. Heavier weapons like two-handed axes took longer to position exactly on the blue line to block. And as you progress, some enemies will have some very quick combo that you need to block. But there is a choice of weapons here for a reason. You can choose what works best for you, and the game doesn't always feel the same depending on your choice. On a side note, there is also something incredibly satisfying when launching an enemy to the other side of the map with an heavy mace. The game also offers multiple difficulty levels, so once you play through one of them, you can attempt on the next level. I found the gameplay to just scratch that itch, but I am someone who naturally loves roguelikes. There is something extremely satisfying in getting further, at finally beating that boss that killed you 4 or 5 times, at clearing just one more stage that you weren't able before. I have so much fun trying to get further that I don't realize I'm exercising until I take off the headset and I am completely covered in sweat. I'm not in shape, like, at all. I've only been working out for about 3 months now this year. I have issues with keeping up with exercises and diets, which is the reason I am now turning to VR to try to get it to stick. But playing this game seems to keep my heart rate at an average of 125, which is in line with, for me, with Beat Saber, Synth Rider, Just Dance VR, and stuff like that. Though, one thing I will suggest if you play in a smaller room like mine is to invest in a small mat or of some kind to keep you positioned in a way that you won't get turned around and either you hurt yourself or break something. The first time I played, I got so engrossed in the game that I wasn't noticing I was spinning around, and because the game encourages you to take big swings to do more damage, I slammed my hand full strength in the wall. I have a mat, and I am very careful now to keep my feet at the front of the mat where I can feel that I'm not spinning around anymore. The game also has comfort tools to reduce motion sickness, but I actually found myself disabling them. I prefer the game without them, and I've not felt any motion sickness at all personally, because your character will often, you can dash forward and backwards, and that's like teleporting in most games, so I didn't feel sick personally. So my thoughts. I love this game. I can see it be one of the main game I use in my fitness journey. I definitely would recommend people who can play VR to try it. As most of you know, I have ADHD. I get bored of things really easily, so I need a balance. And having this game, which is not a rhythm game, to add on to my VR fitness roster is a huge plus. Of course, this game is not just a way to exercise, it is a fun roguelike that really does scratch that itch for me. But since you move so much while playing it, it can definitely be used to exercise. Am I going to continue playing it? Absolutely. I'm actually going to play it tomorrow even. This game is an absolute gem. Now, if you're interested in my health journey, I will be making a video much later because I want to give more time to play VR consistently before I share anything. But one thing I have already started to notice is that I am not out of breath as easily as before. But again, we'll revisit that in another video. For now, I will just say that Until You Fall is an amazing game that really surprised me. These are my personal thoughts. I don't do full reviews because I only share my own thoughts and feelings about games. But I hope I made this game justice in this video. If you enjoyed listening to my thoughts or you found it somewhat informative, please consider giving me a thumbs up. It helps my small channel a lot, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And see you in the next video. Bye bye.